All right, ladies and gentlemen, welcome to my 2024 March Madness bracket predictions. After meditating for the last 2 hours and looking at analytics over the last 2 days, I'm finally ready to pick my main bracket here on Thursday morning. Sorry, my voice is pretty bad today. I sound like a train wreck, I know. But let's get this bracket picked, shall we? UConn's going to beat Stetson. No problem there. FAU, I slightly like over Northwestern. This matchup, I was going back and forth on, but ultimately, I think I'm going to go with San Diego State, but I wouldn't be shocked if UAB won. Auburn's going to beat Yale. A lot of people like Auburn this year, me included. BYU versus Duquesne. Let's be honest here. Duquesne's a filler team. They're not good. Illinois over Morehead State. This is going to be an upset. I got Morehead State beating Illinois. Usually teams that win their conference tournament do not perform well in March. And Morehead State's a team that matches up well against Illinois. And the Big Ten just chokes, so that's another reason. Washington State and Drake. This is an exact matchup I had on my bracketology that I created. But a lot of people like Drake. And in a pool here, that's getting picked a lot. Give me Washington State to beat Drake. Give me Washington State. They're big. They're the tallest team in America, I think. So they're going to dominate the boards on both ends of the floor. Iowa State and South Dakota State. The last couple years, there's been a 15-2, and it is going to be here. That's my big upset for this bracket, guys. I'm going to have South Dakota State beat Iowa State. Why? Because Iowa State's a team that plays in these slow-paced defensive games, low scoring, which makes them very prone to get upset. And South Dakota State, I feel, they're better. Analytically, they're better than Iowa State on the offensive end of the floor. So if they get hot from three or get off to a huge scoring run, I think South Dakota State wins that game. Moving on, North Carolina, they're going to beat Wagner. Izzo's going to get a win. I like Mississippi State, but I think Izzo, everyone just says Michigan State's going to win because they have Izzo. But I guess I'm going to fall into that trap, but we'll see. St. Mary's over Grand Canyon. This is another matchup, guys, that a lot of people like Grand Canyon, but let's not get cute here. Take St. Mary's. Really good team defensively, and the analytics love St. Mary's. Alabama and Charleston. Bama plays no defense, but Charleston really doesn't play defense either. It's just a battle of two great offenses. I'll take Alabama there, just because their offense they play in a better conference and they've played tougher opponents. Clemson and New Mexico. This is another one. I think New Mexico is actually favored to beat Clemson on the spread. I'm going to take Clemson, even though a lot of people are picking New Mexico. Again, guys, in a pool, where can you gain points? Where can you gain value? Here's one. Give me Clemson to beat New Mexico there. Baylor and Colgate. Colgate just gets screwed with these matchups, man. Every year they get matched up against the toughest seed that they're playing. But give me Baylor. Colgate, maybe they do it. I don't know. Dayton and Nevada. Oh, boy. See, Dayton's played so bad down the stretch. I just don't feel like I can pick them. And again, they're underdogs in that game. And I'm pretty high on Nevada. So I'm going to take Nevada there over Dayton. Arizona and Long Beach State. Long Beach State analytically is worse than some of the 16 seeds. So is St. Peter's, but I'm going to take Arizona. They're not losing back-to-back years to 15 seed. Houston over Longwood, that's obvious. Nebraska over A&M. Give me Nebraska. I was looking at the analytics. I just like Nebraska more. Their ability to shoot. If they get in a shootout with anybody, I think they can win. So give me Nebraska there. Wisconsin over James Madison. Now, guys, I've already picked 2 5 seeds. So I analytically have to have one lose. And this is where it's going to be. I got James Madison over Duke. Or over Wisconsin. Sorry, over Wisconsin. Wisconsin, wildly inconsistent team. James Madison's lost 3 times on the year. I'll take James Madison over Wisconsin. Vermont, I feel like, is a little, like, they're a pretty bad 13 seed, in my opinion. I think Duke is a little underseeded, too, maybe. Maybe they should have been a 3. I don't know. But I think they're good enough to beat Vermont. And Vermont, again, they're a team that gets there every year, but they can never pull off the upset. Crazy run for NC State to get here, but I think they're going to run out of gas against Texas Tech, who I think's very underseeded. Same with BYU. Give me Texas Tech there over NC State. Kentucky and Oakland. Kentucky, again, just a team that plays no defense, but that offense is elite. They'll be good enough to beat Oakland. Florida and Colorado. See, this is another one, guys. A lot of people love Florida to get to the Elite 8 or Sweet 16. How can I gain points? Give me Colorado there. And analytically, I think Colorado's better too. And Florida just lost their big man. Give me Colorado over Florida. Marquette over Western Kentucky. I think this also has potential to be a 15-2 upset. I wouldn't be shocked if that one happened because Western Kentucky, they play with the fastest tempo in the country. Like, they're number 1. So if they can get up and down the court, get stops, and get shots up, and they could be out to like a 10-0 lead in the blink of an eye. And Marquette, they're notorious March chokers. So I'll take Marquette, but I don't know if I'll have them going far. Purdue, guys, let's not get cute. Take Purdue. Utah State over TCU. Utah State, I feel, is very underseeded. However, there's an analytic about TCU. Every year they've been in, they've gotten in, and they've won 1 game and then lost. So give me TCU. Gonzaga and McNeese State. A lot of people like McNeese. They're going to pick. I've seen McNeese in Elite 8s. Let's not get cute, guys. Let's take Gonzaga. McNeese State plays in a conference that usually is like a play-in 16 seed. They're just beating up on good teams. Gonzaga's by far the best team they're going to see so far this year. Now, Kansas and Samford, however, with McCullough out, I think Samford's a lock to win this game. Like, if you want to bet money line on a team, I would bet on Samford. Like, just a straight, easy bet. Like, plus 250, I think. South Carolina and Oregon. Now, South Carolina analytically loses to teams that play great defense. Oregon's not elite defensively, but I watched that their run in the Pac-12 championship, and I think they're good enough to get it done here against South Carolina. Give me Oregon over South Carolina. People say this game between Akron and Creighton is going to be close. I mean, maybe. We'll see. But I think Creighton is out for revenge after almost making the Final Four last year. I think Texas is way better than Colorado State. I really do. I like Texas. And then you got St. Peter's down here. That's not happening again. St. Peter's is analytically far worse this year than they were that year that they went on that run. All right, moving on to the round of 32. This could be a good game, but I got to take UConn. Give me UConn. Now, how can we gain points here? Like, do we like San Diego State? Do we like Auburn? I've been going back and forth on this one because everybody has that matchup, but I'm going to switch it up and go with that matchup there. I'm going to go with San Diego State over UConn, or over Auburn in that round of 32 game. BYU and Morehead State, a one and done for Morehead State. Give me BYU. I think they're a very good 6 seed, and I had them personally as a 5. I think they're a really good team. They can score. Washington State over South Dakota State. I want to take South Dakota State. Analytically, that would be the pick to make here. But if they don't win, I got a 15 seed in my Sweet 16. So let me take Washington State because I wouldn't have Iowa State making it out of that round anyways. So I'll just take Washington State to beat South Dakota State and going to the Sweet 16. Let me see here. All right. UNC and North Carolina, and Michigan State. I don't think Michigan State, like a lot of people are saying Michigan State to the Sweet 16. It's not happening, guys. I'm sorry. I like North Carolina in that game. I don't think Michigan, I think Michigan State's overrated, but they're good enough to win a game. St. Mary's is going to easily beat Alabama. I'm confident in that one. Again, Alabama just plays no defense. St. Mary's will have an advantage on both ends of the floor because their defense is better than Bama's offense. Clemson and Baylor. Give me Baylor in that game. I think Clemson's good enough to beat New Mexico, but I'll take Baylor over Clemson. Arizona and Nevada. Give me Arizona. Decent run for Nevada, but it's going to end there to the hands of Arizona. All right, up here, give me Houston over Nebraska. Although I could see a world where Nebraska wins that game and shocks the nation with their ability to get hot from 3. Duke and James Madison. This is going to be a good game if it happens. Really good game. And it's the kind of games that Duke loses, so give me James Madison to the Sweet 16. Texas Tech, also very good. Kentucky, I think their offense is good enough to get them here. Marquette and Colorado. Again, Shaka Smart just cannot get it done in March. Give me Colorado to the Sweet 16. Purdue over TCU. I mean, I just don't. I don't think Purdue's going to get beat early this year. I just don't see it. Samford had their one win, but give me Gonzaga. They're coached better. Creighton and Oregon. I could see Oregon winning that game, but I think Creighton has the edge. Tennessee and Texas. Oh, man. See, I've been going back and forth on this because I want to pick Texas, but I would have 1-2 seed making it to the Sweet 16 then. So I think analytically I have to take Tennessee here. So I'll take Tennessee, even though that could be a close game. Texas, honestly, if St. Peter's somehow does win and like Creighton loses, Texas has a great path to the Final Four, I think. No, that would not shock me at all. Give me Tennessee over Texas. We come up here, a rematch between UConn and San Diego State, but I think UConn wins that game. BYU and Washington State. I think this would be a really good game, but I'm going to take BYU to the Elite Eight. I think that's a pretty safe pick. North Carolina and St. Mary's. I think this is the year St. Mary's makes a run. They beat North Carolina and get to the Elite Eight. And I also have Arizona over Baylor in that matchup. I think Arizona. I have a weird vibe around Arizona. I just think they're going to do well this year. Houston and James Madison. That'd be a shock and awe if James Madison wins that game. But give me Houston and give me Kentucky. Again, it's just I think their offense can take them that far. Purdue and Gonzaga. Here's where it gets interesting. This is a game, like, if you've watched Purdue at all, that's a game they'll lose. Why? I don't know. But it's just Purdue loses games like that. I think Mark Few is a great coach. He's going to continue his run, making it far in March like he does every year. I'll take Gonzaga over Purdue. With that, I will also take Creighton over Tennessee. Tennessee's another team that just cannot get it done in March. So we got the Elite Eight set. Alrighty. UConn and BYU. I'm rolling with UConn. Give me UConn to the Final Four out of that region. Arizona and St. Mary's. I'll take Arizona to beat St. Mary's. Houston and Kentucky. Kentucky finally runs into a team that can defend and score. They're not going to win that game. Give me Houston. Gonzaga and Creighton. Really good game. Creighton so-so. Coach, two great coaches in this game, McDermott and Few. I'm going to take the Zags. Give me the Zags to go to the Final Four. So we got 2 1 seeds, a 2 seed, and a 5 seed. That's a reasonable Final Four. I think that's okay this year. UConn and Arizona. I think that's where it ends for UConn. They get pretty far, but I'm going to take Arizona. That's where UConn's run ends. In the Final Four's in Arizona too. They got the home crowd around them. Give me Arizona to the national title. Houston and Gonzaga. Great run for Gonzaga. Great run for Houston. Houston's been good the last few years. I've picked them to win a couple years. But this year, we're going to take Houston. We're going to put them in the national title. They're going to be playing in the national title game. So that sets up Houston versus Arizona for the national title. And in one shining moment, the Houston Cougars are my national champion this year. I think that's the safest pick. I think that pick, analytically, it's a good pick because 1 out of every 4 people are picking UConn. I think that's a fair Final Four. I think we're going to go with Houston over Arizona. So that's my bracket, guys. Let me know in the comments or whatever what you think. Appreciate you guys for watching. Again, sorry I sound so sick today. I don't know. I'm like sick or whatever. But thank you guys for watching. We'll see you next time.